Hello, this is Lance Cleveland, author of the Store Locator Plus plugin for WordPress. I'm going to go over some of the features that are in the September 2015 release of the Premier plugin. That's version 4.3.02. That is the Premier plugin, available only for Premier members of Store Locator Plus, our monthly subscription program to help support development and enhance the product. In this month's release, I have focused on the results layout and styling in conjunction with a customer project I am working on. And one of the things that I've had issues with in the past is how to do some specific styling down here in the results below the map. Now, in responsive design, you try to avoid tables whenever you can. There are some ways that you can design that, but it's typically difficult to get fixed HTML tables to show up and be flexible for mobile and desktop environments. So up until now, I've avoided that design construct specifically to make this more flexible with different WordPress themes and to be responsive. However, some customers want a desktop centric experience, or they want to do more specific formatting. In this case, the HTML tables gives us a very structured output below the map. So there's a few things in Premier Pack 4.3.02 that help us design this and use HTML tables. So one of the first settings that comes into play is this do not wrap results in div. So for the tech geeks out there, these elements that are highlighted are always wrapped inside of an HTML div. Well, that makes it very difficult to do things like table headers and table rows when this information comes back from the other end of the query request and get it into the proper format so that you don't break the HTML compliance. So to make this work with tables, I turn off the results div, and that will take out the HTML. And if I look inside of here, I can see that every result that comes back from the server, here's the results section below the map, but I can see everything's wrapped in a div, and then inside of that more divs for all the contents, and you can see it highlighting above. And that's how they're built. Well, I can turn that off with Premier Pack, which in this case, because I've not implemented the other features yet, you'll see how the divs are out, but now it, because of the style sheet I'm using for this plugin, it's not really rendering correctly. So one of the other things that we can do is add results header through Premier, and you can put a start of a table and then tell it where you want to put the locations. So you can see by adding the ID, add locations here on any HTML element, the product will in Premier now use this results header, and this is going to wrap the entire results. And you can see in this case I'm trying to get these table head rows that are going to have column titles in it, which I'll show you in a minute, put the enhanced results or the regular results that come back from the server, which are the rows that go into the divs previously, are going to go into this ID tag here, and then I can close out my table. So that gives me a nice clean HTML structure for tables. And I'm going to want to change my results layout here to be table rows. So rather than type all this in, there is a new style that's coming. It's not completely baked yet, so if you use this it will change, called Skywalk. And by using this now, I just set this to Skywalk and saved it. And what it did was it's changed the structure of the results layout, and I'll go look at that, but you can see the settings down here. And what it did was change, this remains the same, but it changed this to be table rows. And what we can see in the ultimate layout here, now I just reload this page after applying that style, is this will be a little bit better structured. I haven't really finished everything yet, but here we go. We can see that everything's in actual table cells. You can see the little lines up here, and if I come down and look at the code, you'll see here's my table, there's the header, these are the heading columns. They're blank right now because I have not set that. I'll show you that in a minute. I have not set what I want my column names to be. And then all the results that come back from the server go into their own table rows, and you can see they're all table rows and table cells. So that's possible with the Premier Pack, and if you use that Skywalk as a template for now, I don't recommend putting it in production. You'll see the various ways to style the results layout and the Premier header setting. So in conjunction with that, Premier is adding the ability to do a results header and turn off that div, which are very important to get the styling we want. Some other features it's adding are results headers. These are options that you can put at the top of each column. Now you can design your HTML layout to put these wherever you'd like. These entries are going to replace this shortcode right here. So that's what that's doing there, is this SLP option name results header 1 through 4. So now I've set my column headers, and we'll slowly start to see the output start taking shape here. And as this comes back from the server, you'll see that there's my column headers. So that's one of the other features that's been added into this September release of the product. So those are a couple of the key things that are available for this release. Now, some of the other things that you may want to take use of, and this will be expanded in future releases, is the drop-down selector. So I'm going to add the country drop-down just using enhanced search for that, the built-in product. And this will add the country drop-down list here, right? So typical styling, right? This is the standard HTML styling. Well, the other thing the Premier Pack adds is the ability to change the look and feel of the drop-down menus, and this is called drop-down style. Currently, it only applies the jQuery smooth list theme. Now, I'll be adding more to this list, but for now, I can change this to smoothness. I'm going to take off that label. I don't want to see the label out there, and add a subtitle. This is also added in one of the releases recently for Premiere. And that smoothness drop-down style allows jQuery to do some very detailed CSS styling of this drop-down menu. Typically, HTML does not allow you to style drop-down menus very nicely. So you can see this is completely changed, but the key point of this drop-down style is that by turning this from none to smoothness style, you now have the ability to override every element here on this drop down with simple CSS rules. So you have a lot more design control over your CSS. It is something built into WordPress, so I'm not doing anything crazy out of the box here. This is just applying WordPress, the SelectMenu jQuery UI theme to these drop downs when you set that setting. So those are some of the things that are in the Premiere release 4.3.02. Yes, they are fairly technical. It is really meant for web designers and developers to have a lot more control over the search form and layouts that are listed here. We will be documenting these on the documentation pages over time, hopefully in the next month or so, and by the time the October update for Premiere comes out, there will be a lot more details on how this works. This theme will be fully baked hopefully at that point. There'll be some new settings and ways to tweak this. And be able to kind of see the full power that you have with the layouts and all that sort of thing of pages. Also, the Skywalk theme that we're working on here actually works better in a full width. It's really designed for a full width page with no sidebar. The current theme I'm using for WordPress does not allow us to do that, so you'd actually see some of these settings here. If you have questions, always for the Premiere members, please post in the Premiere forums. That's what we read and answer first. Then we look at the regular forums and then email queries last. If you are Premiere, we do give precedence to your email and your forum posts in the Premiere forums. Thank you for your ongoing support of Store Locator Plus. Have a good day.